Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, it's Tuesday. Tuesday is request day. Today's map was requested by the creator over on Discord. And while they were on the server, they got chatting with another one of the creators, who very kindly offered to help them with the intersections and network layouts. And I would say that the intersections and network layouts are very good. Considering they themselves, I don't think, are a particularly experienced creator. I think I remember seeing one of their maps before. Forgotten the name, it'll come up in the workshop description, I'm sure. We'll get there in a moment. Today's main creator, though, we have done once before in the past, as recently as episode 1345, where they got a meager 7 stars. While that doesn't sound very good, it does mean there's plenty of room for improvement, and that's what we have today. Plenty of improvement. We've also got plenty of available free bingo cards over on BonBonBingo. Link is in the description. Grab yourself a card, check off the memes as we go, and also check off that like button before we start. That's right, being reminded daily really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people, and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is Porto Casyre by Roseark. Thumbnail taken by Night. Now, Casyre or Casyre, I did some googling and I could find no reference for Casyre or Casyre and no translations for Casyre or Casyre. Let's just start square. Interesting and pleasing. Could do with a little bit more interest and pleasing, but it's still good. Terrain heights, plenty of flat buildable space across the map. Again, very pleasing. The resources are a little bit light, plenty of trees, everything else is just a little bit here and there. And then if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, we've got a fishing map that encapsulates all of the 4 different varieties of fish quite nicely. I would say that is pleasing. Off to the workshop. Oh, what do we need? Well, no DLC is required today. There are a few trees there, the NAR generic train tracks, the UK Road Project Motorways pack, a couple of bridges as well, as course with the Springwood map theme, and we'll be using the Relight 3 average LUT. It does say the Relight pack, but it doesn't say which one to use, so we've gone with the average because it's average. Okay, down to ground level. Now, we're using the motorway pack from... Oh, it was Cities. I've heard of them. Anyway, down to ground level, we got these motorways. Now, the motorways are from the UK pack, and you'll notice that I have got the motorways running on the right-hand side. There is a reason for that. I'll get to that in a moment. And it's not that I forgot this time. It's not. First of Cities intersections. Thank you very much, Cities. Very slick. So right, yes, motorways. So in the UK we drive on the left and we've got UK motorways here, so why haven't I gone with the left? The answer is because of the NAR train tracks, which are also a requirement list. NAR, a North American rail, so this isn't actually a UK map. This is a realistic style map using a combination of items from across the world. And listen, we're allowed to do that. We're allowed to. But because it's not a UK map, I made a conscious decision just to go with what isn't broken and stuck with the right-hand drive. Now, you may notice there's a definitive lack of trees over here, and I think that is down to tree count. Oh, next intersection over here. This is a nice one as well from Cities. Thank you, Cities. That is a nice intersection right there. Would say it needs to be worked into the environment a bit better. I think that's probably down to the creator as well, rather than Cities, who's probably just done the network layout and left Roseark to do all the fine work on it, and a little bit of Blue Mantle there as well. So yes, just slightly in need of some polish there. But yeah, the tree count is just a tad shy of 250,000, which is of course very, very close to the tree limit. Now, where we have trees, they are very nice. There's a good selection of trees, and the density is amazing. And with the draw distance turned right up, which I have at the moment, we're getting a little bit of game lag because, I mean, I get 5 kilometer draw distance before it's my own fault, okay? But I know how much you like a pretty show, so I've turned my PC's not going to burn out because of it, but we'll just get a little bit of frame rate drop, okay, just a little bit, we'll be fine. But yeah, anyway, now There are good standards on this map as well, though. For example, have a look at this road now. Yes, we're going through the forest, but in a believable way, rather than sometimes you see trees going through forests and you go, that wouldn't happen. I believe that this could have been planned and driven through with the highways, and we have no trees clipping through, which shows good standards because this would have trees showing through on the underside. This is good. There is good work on the map. In fact, the overall design of the map is quite pleasing, and of course with the strong network layout provided by Cities, we have got a decent playable map as well. Heading up again with the good standards. So yes, yeah, we got a good density of trees here. I think it's one of those things that we needed the map for. We needed the unlimited tree mod, or tree anarchy, which is superseding it. Oh, hang on. We do have an interesting thing going on here, though. Look what happens to the highway. It bends off. We've got trees going underneath it, but the route that it would have taken is also covered in trees. So I don't know what's happened here. It's not like it did have the route cleared and it accidentally got bowed out of position. Something very strange has happened there, and I don't know what. Another nice intersection there again. Very lovely stuff. Like it a lot. Splash of blue mantle. In fact, a whole glitch going on the underside right there, and a big splash of blue mantle on that side as well. Heading down this way towards the start square, we've got a couple of trees on the highway right there as well. I don't know how they've managed to sneak through. And of course the two elevated highways don't start parallel, which I think they would have done in that location. That's like a real easy right click to upgrade and it'd be fine. Start square intersection is a nice one as well. And speaking of start squares, we've got a pretty decent start square in terms of buildable space. A little bit glitching there between the two highways as well, but again, that's easy to clean up as you start your build. Yeah, it's a perfectly good start square without being particularly interesting, and I feel that's quite the case with a lot of the map. It's a very nice map, but it kind of lacks. We have got some set pieces on this map as well. Don't think I'm saying it's a boring map. It's not a boring map, but there are areas where it just feels underworked, and it's a shame because it is a very strong map. We've got a good work of the Bay Bridge. I don't know who put the Bay Bridge down, but it is a very well done Bay Bridge, and the way the rail's been done out of that as well. I'm tempted to say, oh, it's got to be Cities work. I don't know it's Cities work. I don't. But I'm assuming that they at least were there in an advisory sense, at the very least. But yes, it's the shape of the map is quite pleasing. It just feels that it needs some more trees, and also I would say a little bit more terrain work. The shape that we've got is excellent, but those trees, the hills in the distance right there, just look like they've got a blanket draped over them. There's no erosion, there's no interest on them at all. Another good strong intersection there, and so that is. Oh, and I've got also the way the highways come together there could be just like polished up a little bit as well. But yeah, it just needs a little bit more time spent on the shapes of the hills. We'll look at that in a little bit more detail in the second half of the show. I'll be going on to the rail in a moment. Of course, the rail, it won't surprise you, is of a high standard as well because it's a fairly flat map, and networking said I had a hand in, if not both hands. I don't know exactly how much they did, but yeah, the rail is strong as well. So yes, more trees with the unlimited tree mod or tree anarchy. I'm reading that there was some conflict or something with tree anarchy. I don't know. I've got to do some research on that at some point. I'm still on the unlimited tree mod, which is working fine for me. I know there are advantages of switching over to tree anarchy, including frame rate, apparently. But yes, I'll get to there. I'll get there in the end. We'll come back to that in a moment. That thing there, we'll have a look at that shortly. Yeah, second half of the show, there are some interesting feature areas. And you know me, I do love a feature area, even if it's not a great feature area. It just shows that a bit of a chance to be creative on basically what is we've got land, trees and water and networks. And then I'm going to put this in. I'm going to bring the map to life a little bit with feature, like there's one there on the left. You may notice that. We'll come back and have a look at those in the second half of the show, along with some general advice. I think I can throw some general advice forward for this particular map, because there's plenty to talk about with it. But it does kind of feel unfinished. It is finished, and it won't let you down if you play on it, but there are huge swathes of this, which is, well, not really much at all, is there? And we'll come back after the intermission. We'll do the shipping as per normal. What do you think?
Do all your cities end up looking like ugly, lumpy grids? Would you like to evolve a more organic, natural style city? Then check out BonBonB's Breaking the Grid playlist. Click the I button now.
And so back to Porto Casyre by Roseark and the shipping routes, which are both fine and flawed. By I say fine, the routes are great. Could do with some more shipping triangles, like here. Any ship coming out of here, we'll have to do a sharp turn, and maybe another sharp turn there. And we've got a ship down here. Oh, what's the chances it's going to do a sharp turn for us? Hang on, let's have a little look. Shipping route you are taking is... Yes, perfect. There's the example of the sharp turn it's going to have to take. So yes, a shipping triangle, I would say, on the southern side of that island would make it look even better. Got another sharp turn potential going on there. Another sharp turn potential going on there. Bridges are very low as well for vanilla clipping through. And the sharp turn going on there as well. So there's plenty that can be done to improve that. Water flow. It's a realistic looking map, and we have got a realistic looking water flow. I think we can agree there. Look, that water is coming downstream. So we're going upstream here. We're going upstream there as well. And then if we come up this way, got a little bit of null flowish or nullish flow there. And then we should be going upstream here, but that is where it starts going downstream. Something weird is going on with the water flow, and the spawn points are the cause of that. It is going to be possible on this to have a realistic river system. Just need to work on the water flow. Not the easiest thing in the world, but there you go. Like the shape of the map. Feels realistic. I like the shape, and I like the profile of the hills from a ground or sea level. It feels very pleasing and nicely constructed at first glance. That's what it feels like. But then you get things like this where you go, well, this is kind of meh, isn't it? I mean, it's a lovely essential lighthouse, but it feels like there's no love put into that at all. The islands here, my thoughts here is the trees are just one density across there. I think we're going to have some shape into the forest there, and maybe some clearings just to make that look a lot more interesting. This one is kind of interesting. It's very symmetrical. Look at the way that all the doors on those towers are facing, all towards us. Let me spin those to face the corners. A little bit of fiddling going on here. Also, I'm a big fan of these castles having a main gate. You'd have to get in via a ladder here, and then if you do get over the first wall, you've got to get in via a ladder over the second wall. I'm going to give points for symmetry. It's a nice symmetrical castle, but it doesn't work for me personally. We've got some sidings that end up at everybody's favourite factory, but they are one way. And if you have a look here, we've got some that are going in and some that are going out. So either trains can get in and can never get out, or trains that can get out and can never get back in again. This castle, I quite like the idea that's going on here. We've got a bit of a clearing at the top where you can see the lower density and smaller trees. Kind of like that, but I think we need a little bit more clearing of trees to make it look believable. Because they've cleared the trees and they've got some growth back, but would they have allowed the growth like that? Especially since it's clearly for visitors, given that the dirt track is still here. Now, getting to the dirt track is a bit of a problem. You have to pull off of the motorway and cross over the railway line, which is dangerous, isn't it? But no, it's not dangerous, because this railway line is clearly not in use, given that the pillars are just clipping through on the underside there. And, well, I mean, yes, it's not going to affect the rail, but it's it's a minor detailing flaw, one would say. This glitching that you get here, now this can happen to the best of us. I had exactly the same problem going on with St Catherine's Point. I managed to polish mine out eventually, but it was fiddly, and so I can appreciate the problems that you had there. This, on the other hand, just needs a smoothing tool over it. This is an absolutely straight line that is off of the map grid and just needs a little polish there. As does this. You can actually see the circular brush that's been used to shape this part of the hill. It's been done quite well, but it just needs a stroke to clear it up. And also we've got some good bridge work. We've already seen the Bay Bridge, and this is very good bridge work. You have a look here. It's perfectly aligned. It's very cleanly done, and I think points for that one. Pull the camera back. Ah, yes, beaches. So we could do some this isn't beach shape. I've got that masterclass mini series that I'll try to remember to link into the description as well. Or if I forget to do that one, just go onto my channel, search masterclass, and I've got some videos there which will show you how to do beaches and add lines of erosion into the sides of your hills as well, so that even those hills would look a lot more interesting. Meanwhile, back at the start square, we've got the asset of the day, and it's Cateinum. And Cateinum is really impressing everybody. This one is the Ted Weiss Federal Building. Federal Building, even. Yes, the Ted Weiss Federal Building. And again, it's just an amazing looking building. You're doing an American style build, definitely will want to use that one. And factoids, because factoids. Now, Porto Casyre meant I searched for Porto, and I came up with a factoid about the Portuguese city of Porto. Its nickname is Invicta, which means invincible in Portuguese. The nickname came from the 19th century Portuguese Civil War, which I wasn't even aware of, when Porto was never conquered, nor even survived a siege which lasted more than a year. I vaguely remember reading about a siege of Porto. Didn't realise it was a civil war though. I assumed it was something to do with the Spanish War. I don't know. What do you know? Ted Weiss Federal Building by Cateinum. That is a majestic building. Not from Porto, I think. And Porto, the second largest city in Portugal, I believe. I think, maybe, probably. Anyway, what do you think of today's map? Let's get back to subject. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does work. It really does work. It really matters as well. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewers' Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now in the top right corner of your screen, or the link in the description will take you to the voting page where you can vote for free. But what do I think of today's map? Well, aesthetically, it's a strong design. I think the theme works very nicely as well. Theme and luck combo are very nice. The map just feels unfinished, and there's plenty of areas which are no more than a high 2 stars, but there are some very strong areas as well. I think I'm going to go, let's go slightly above middle 3. I think that's about right. Slightly. Detailing, we've got some decent standards. We have also got some blue mantles, some glitching here and there as well. I can't go to the 4th star, but I can go from medium high 3, because there is good standards here. But there's also good standards in the gameplay. I just feel that I'm not inspired to want to play on it, because it just feels unfinished. So I'm going to go from medium high 3 stars again. It's probably 4 really. Porto Casyre by Roseark. I'm sure you'll have your own opinions on that one, but yeah, it just feels it needs another 40 hours spent on it, just enjoying it. The thing with the map making process is just enjoy it, be creative, let the map speak to you, not be mysterious at all about it. We've made it to the last 20 seconds of the show. If you're still here, you're part of the 20 and out elite. Use the word of the day in the comments to score yourself some population points just for fun, and I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the WhatsApp series. Have a great day, and I'll see you very, very soon.